It is official that the pound-for-pound king, Terence "Bud" Crawford, has agreed in principle to face off against the 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar, first ballot Hall of Famer, Saul Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez has agreed. Terence Crawford, we knew he was going to agree. And they're working out the details to showcase their talents. Riyadh season, Cinco de Mayo weekend in May.
Hate me, but I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Hell of a fight. Hell of a fight.
Hate me, but I think it's a 50-50 fight. It's really, really hard for me to see Canelo losing to Crawford. But it's also, there's things that I can see that Crawford is so good at.
Yeah.
That it's like, I can't see him not being able to be sharp and do that round after round, man.
Canelo versus Crawford, a clash of skill versus strength. But can Crawford overcome the odds at a higher weight class? Let's hear what the pros think. Saber Longa believes Crawford's legendary technique might justify the odds. But will the weight gap be too much for the welterweight king to conquer?
It happened in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you can't.
Renowned boxing trainer Andre Rozier weighed in on the possibility of Terence Crawford stepping up to face Canelo Alvarez. While Crawford is riding high off a welterweight victory, Rozier believes taking on Canelo at a higher weight could be a bridge too far.
The only thing he could possibly do at this point to regain that status is to beat someone of note in another weight class. And
Rozier admits that Crawford moving up to 150 pounds might be a realistic move, but going all the way up to face Canelo, he calls it a dangerous leap.
Floor is going to be enough for him. Him going up to fighting, quote unquote, if it should happen, Canelo, I don't see that ending well. It's just too much and too far to go. But that's what it was.
Rozier's warning underscores the monumental challenge Crawford would face in battling a pound-for-pound star like Canelo. With such a significant weight disadvantage, the question stands, is Crawford biting off more than he can chew, or is another world-shocking upset on the horizon? Canelo Alvarez has shared his thoughts on a potential clash with Terence Crawford, and the buzz among boxing fans is real.
Yes, it is official that the pound-for-pound king, 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed world champion, and reigning WBA junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Terence "Bud" Crawford, future first ballot Hall of Famer, undefeated, 41 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout, 37 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach, has agreed in principle. We knew he was going to agree to face off against the 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar, first ballot Hall of Famer, former undisputed super middleweight world champion, and reigning unified super middleweight world champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo has all but confirmed his willingness to face Crawford, fueling speculation about one of boxing's most highly anticipated matchups. This potential showdown features two elite fighters at the peak of their powers.
Crawford's name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if it's a fight.
A fight between Canelo and Crawford promises fireworks. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has ruled his division with power and precision. Crawford, widely seen as one of the most skilled fighters of his era, brings a mix of technical brilliance and strategic intelligence that has made him a pound-for-pound mainstay.
See, he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know.
Canelo hasn't backed down from the idea of facing Crawford in the ring. While Crawford's jump to a higher weight class has sparked plenty of debate, Canelo remains confident he can dominate the smaller man. Speaking on Sway's Universe, Canelo made it clear is not only ready, he sees it as a chance to make a bold statement.
But be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford. Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, comes down.
That'll work. So if yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So
Canelo's recent remarks reveal his belief that the weight disparity gives him a major edge over Crawford. With a proven track record of dismantling elite opponents at super middleweight, Canelo appears to view the potential fight less as a risky challenge and more as a lucrative financial opportunity. However, for fans and analysts alike, Crawford's technical skills and relentless determination could make this bout far more unpredictable than Canelo expects. The Mexican champion acknowledged Crawford's style as difficult to face and admitted that the fight could happen, especially if the financial stakes are right.
I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right.
Canelo's words reflect the complicated nature of bringing this mega fight to life. While he respects Crawford's talent, he remains confident in the natural advantages granted by his weight class. At the same time, his focus on money and stylistic differences suggests that Canelo views a matchup more as a spectacle and payday than a true competitive showdown. This marks a shift in Canelo's stance. He had previously shown reluctance to face Crawford, citing that defeating a smaller fighter wouldn't earn him much credit. Now, the conversation is clearly evolving.
Everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 ways plus.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that. No disrespect him, but sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford, fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to face Crawford, but you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible.
Go down anymore. But like he say, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, and then he need to enjoy his.
Meanwhile, Crawford has shown unwavering persistence in chasing this matchup. He is reportedly ready to jump 2 weight classes to prove his dominance and etch his name deeper into boxing history.
All gets through Jermell, and then you guys fight. That fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah. But in my mind, in my heart, I don't think nobody too big, especially in a fight. I'm a fighter. But, like, I was thinking like, man, it could happen. So you start really sitting down like, man, that fight maybe can happen. Okay, so now you start.
Crawford fully acknowledges the physical disadvantage he would face in the ring against Canelo. He has admitted that size will play a crucial role in this fight, yet he remains confident. Crawford believes his boxing style, strategy, and ring IQ are more than enough to overcome the challenge.
But I'm faster, so then you start doing the advantages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, man, we right there.
Yeah.
We right there, you know what I mean? So I was like, man.
And it's not like he didn't go up in weight as well.
Former world champion Keith Thurman recently weighed in on the potential showdown. As both a fighter and analyst, Thurman pointed out why Crawford may be seeing exploitable weaknesses in Canelo's game, specifically referencing Canelo's performance against Jermell Charlo. Thurman noted moments in that bout that could be fueling Crawford's belief that he has a path to victory.
When Canelo fought Charlo, besides the knockdown, Charlo was able to protect himself very well against Canelo's onslaught. The only problem was, while protecting himself, there was no offense.
Thurman emphasized how Charlo's defensive adjustments helped him mitigate damage after the knockdown, but also revealed a lack of offensive response that allowed Canelo to control the fight. In contrast, Crawford, known for his adaptability and offensive creativity, might be looking to blend solid defense with aggressive counters, exploiting those very same openings.
Seeing what I saw, I believe Crawford saw the same thing. If Charlo can go so untouched by just being, once he got dropped, spider senses, boom, fully awakened, right? Boom. So now hands up, don't make no mistakes. So, that's how it is. We saw it in the Munguia fight, we saw it in the last fight. It's those little mistakes that end up having big consequences against Canelo, right?
Thurman's insight paints a picture of Crawford meticulously studying Canelo's recent fights, looking for exploitable gaps. While Charlo leaned heavily on defense to survive, Crawford may attempt to fuse that kind of cautious defense with his body punching and boxing IQ to not only neutralize Canelo's power but also score and control rounds. Still, Thurman reminded fans, one mistake against Canelo could be costly, the kind of mistake that changes a fight in an instant.
This trash. Don't ever compare Crawford to Canelo again. Shout out young Triple G. He did his. I felt he won at least a draw. The judges, you weirdos, you guys suck ass. And Crawford, you're not pound for pound, suck it. You never fought nobody good. You fought Spence that had a car accident.
Renowned sports analyst Stephen A. Smith also shared his thoughts on the potential mega fight. Known for his no-holds-barred commentary, Smith broke down the clash as a battle between Crawford's superior boxing skills and Canelo's raw power and physical presence. While praising both fighters, Smith pointed out that the key to victory will lie in who can better impose their strengths, Crawford's craft or Canelo's force.
Catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it will be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. And that's where the problem lies.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him Mayweather?
He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when is a very powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And
Terence Crawford, yes, there is weight classes for a reason. Canelo is a lot bigger. Crawford has that. He also has a good size to him where he has that good size and he has that reach and he has that boxing IQ. That's the most important thing when it comes to a boxing game is the IQ. I think Crawford will hold his own very good in that fight. But I will lean a little bit more towards Canelo given the fact that he's more experienced and he's been in there with bigger guys.
Serious about fighting Canelo Alvarez?
Of course.
I know you're serious, but I've got to ask you for the people that are watching.
Of course
Are
I'm
you
serious.
confident that fight is a fight that you can win?
Well, I'm always confident that I can win any fight that I step foot in the ring. Canelo is a big, strong competitor. He's a great fighter. He's a future Hall of Famer. And that's what we in the game for, is to leave a legacy that will last, surpass our lifetime.
2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. So I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another. You know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out. You know what I mean? So
I think Crawford is looking at just a huge fight with Canelo, and if he doesn't get it, he might not even fight anymore. Because he's told me that before. But there's so many other fights out there too. We'll just take it fight by fight with Virgil.